Welcome back to another episode of the Million Dollar Body Podcast, the intersection of physical and financial success. I'm your host, Nate Palmer. If you're here, you're probably a high performer, a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you're interested in gaining an unfair advantage in your life using fitness and nutrition as force multipliers. We're streaming this episode live in the Million Dollar Body group. Join us there at n8trainingsystems.com/group, or don't. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Facebook banned my ad account, so I am salty. You put a little extra salt in me because I'm a salty boy right now. Okay. So how do you know that a sugar detox is what you need to start doing? And how do you do it in a way that doesn't require you to adopt a bunch of medieval training methodologies or to do the Gwyneth Paltrow tried and true trick of eating $800 worth of rare ingredients in your morning shake? Well, I'm going to tell you today because it's very simple and it's not that hard. And stick around because I'll probably at the end or in the middle or right now invite you to be a part of the 5-day sugar detox kicking off next week, Monday at Monday. You're going to want to check it out on Monday. It starts in the morning because that's kind of the time, like we wake up and do stuff. So, but it's definitely November 1st, Monday. It's free. And if you're not a part of the group and you want to jump into the sugar detox, join us at n8trainingsystems.com/group and or don't. Like I said before, and I'd like to reiterate, I do not care. So how do you know if a sugar detox is the right move? Because when I say detox, people think I got to do it works wraps. I got to take a bunch of weird gummy vitamins. I got to probably get on some sort of MLM, like monthly recurring supplement line. And let me just tell you, run it out. None of that's true. All that's bullshit. And I am here to hook it up. So how do you even know if you need a sugar detox? Well, I'll give you 4 or 5 key reasons. Number 1, if you're having cravings, especially for sweets, specifically after your meals. So at like 10 o'clock, 3 p.m., after dinner, you're in the fridge looking in there until you look in there for the 4th time and you're like, yes, I will have the heel of this piece of bread and the piece of cheese that only has a little bit of mold on it and I'll scrape it off. But every time you go to the fridge, your standards gets lower and lower and lower and lower and lower until you're finally eating old bread that no one wants. And then you're like, honey, is this your pomegranate juice? And she's like, we never had pomegranate juice in the fridge at all. And when that's the case, that it's probably time for a sugar detox. Number 2, you are searching for sweets on a regular basis. If you're feeling like you're looking around, there's a sweet thing at your work or a candy bowl and you're into it and you're eating and you're picking out the kinds of Skittles that you want because everyone knows the red kind is the best and the yellow kind is the worst. But here's the thing about Skittles is they all taste exactly the same. There's no difference in the taste of Skittles. That is purely an illusion sold to you by Big Skittles, one of the main industries that's responsible for our current health epidemic, Big Skittles. You're going to want to write that down. So if you're searching for sweets on a regular basis, if you're craving sweets, if you're just looking for it, if I was like, hey, what sounds good to you right now? Doritos or a banana. And you're like, oh, banana, you might be time for a sugar detox. Either that or you really like bananas, but it's for sure one of the two. Number 3, you are full, but you still want something. You're full, you just ate, but you're like, I could go for something, a little snacky snack right now. And if that's you, probably time for a sugar detox. Number 4, you're feeling generally tired during the day. You wake up tired, you eat breakfast, you're a little tired at 10, you're a little tired before lunch, you eat something there, then you're a little tired at 1:30. And you're like, man, I just can't get out of this. I'm a little bit funky right now. And not talking about your smell, but just in general, you're just a little funky. If you're there, it's probably time for a sugar detox. And, even if that's not necessarily your main thing you're dealing with, I'll tell you one thing for sure right now. It ain't gonna hurt. Ain't gonna hurt to do that. Just try it out. See what happens. See how you feel. Number 5, the last one. How do you know if you need a sugar detox? Is if you have a waist to height ratio of 0.47 or above, your burn score is 47 or above. And the way you can figure that out is you go to n8trainingsystems.com/quiz. And I'll ask you for 2 specific pieces of information, mainly your waist and your height, to do a very complex measurement where I divide your waist by your height. And then I will get back to you with a number that is your waist divided by your height. And then I'll tell you this number is above 0.47 or this number is below 0.47. And I will tell you one of those 2 things for sure. And if it's above 0.47, congratulations, you have some degree of insulin resistance, and we need to fix that. And one easy way to do that is, you guessed it, it's a sugar detox. Those are our 5 reasons to know that a sugar detox is the right move for you. Next, we've got to figure out, how do you detox successfully? Like I said before, I'm not going to ask you to buy a bunch of weird supplements and put some stuff on your body and get into a sweat lodge and lay out and do some perineum sunning. None of that. All you need to do is 4 things. 4 things. Number 1, you need to eat enough nutritious foods to get the vitamins and minerals you need. Okay. So you probably thought, oh, I'm going to tell you not eat food. And I will, but in a second, not this moment. Right now, what you need to do is you need to be eating more foods that are nutritious, high in vitamins, high in minerals. They're going to help your body detox from that sugar naturally, and also give it what it needs so you're not feeling weird cravings. There's nothing worse than being like halfway through a sugar detox and your body's like, let's get some parsnips. By the way, if you know what a parsnip tastes like, you can email me right now at parsnipquestions@n8trainingsystems.com, and I will get back to you. That is not a real email address. Please do not email me under any circumstances. Number 2, you need to be drinking enough water. Make sure you're drinking water. And I harp on this incessantly because, for as simple and boring as it is, you probably don't drink enough water. And in fact, I want to give you some space right now to have a drink of water. So let's take a moment of silence for our best friend, yours and mine, H2O. Hopefully you got some water during that break. If not, pause the episode, go get some water, and don't come back until it's done. Number 3, we need to be forcibly taking some time away from sugar. And the easy way to do this, to make this more accessible, is by having a black and white. Okay. But it's better than try not to eat sugar. Don't eat pretty much stay away from it. You can have toast, but make sure you don't put just plain sugar on it, because that we're detoxing from sugar. If we're going to do this, let's do this thing right. Let's build up some nutrient dense foods, and let's do a hard stop. Black and white, like analog, baby. Let's go all the way. So it's either you're eating food or you're just not freaking eating food, and that's the end of it. And you don't get no negotiation, no asking yourself questions, no trying to figure out, how do I fit this into my diet? You don't get to eat right now. Okay. So forcibly take some time away from sugar, and generally like carbohydrates as well. So I'll talk more about that in a second. And then number 4 is avoid reintroducing processed or refined carbs after this hard reset. Now, a lot of times we're talking about carbohydrates. We're talking about the glycemic index. Is that high glycemic or is that low glycemic? No one gives a shit, first of all. And also the glycemic index is inherently flawed, because for the most part, you look at white rice, you're like, oh, that's a glycemic index of 62. Oh no, I can't eat the white rice. When's the last time you had a big bowl of white rice? I'll answer that for you. Never. You've never just had a straight bowl of white rice, probably. So if you're worried about that, it's probably not even worth worrying about, because glycemic index really relates to how fast blood sugar is released, how fast the digestive process is. And for the most of us, we're probably having white rice with black beans and some chicken, maybe some double chicken. Maybe we're having a tortilla on the side. Maybe we're having some vegetables, having some pico salsa and some green salsa. We're putting a little bit of cheese on that. And then we're taking the tortilla and grabbing little bites of it and making little mini tacos, because we are at Chipotle in this scenario and we are having lunch. So probably not worth worrying about the glycemic index. Instead, what I'd rather you worry about is whole carbs versus processed carbs, whole carbs versus refined carbs. Refined carbs being things that come in boxes and bags. I've never seen a loaf of bread growing on a tree before. Probably fits into the refined carb box. How, on the other hand, potatoes, white, brown, purple, doesn't matter to me. Eat those up. Those are in the whole carb category. Okay, so we want to avoid those refined or processed carbs after we do this hard reset, and keep those whole carbs in our system. It's going to make it a lot easier to avoid that. And yeah, that means Halloween candy. It's a really hard refined processed carb. Anything that is on a stick and they feed to children, you should probably avoid eating that. And I'm really looking hard at Kyle right now, because he's literally having a lollipop at the moment. Is that judgmental? Yes, it is. But you know what? He doesn't have a microphone, so it doesn't matter what he thinks. So that's the 4 things. So here's what elements of a healthy detox that does not require supplements. Okay. Then at the end, At the end of this, I'll invite you to take part in a free 5-day sugar detox beginning on November 1st. To qualify for said sugar detox, just simply write the word sugar in the comments of this video or email me at nate@n8trainingsystems.com and I'll get back to you. Just say sugar and I'll know what you're talking about. Or I might forget that I did this episode entirely and you're going to send me sugar and I'll be like, who is this? Honey, baby, why are you sending me some stuff? Don't you know my wife reads these emails? And that'll be uncomfortable for both of us. But let's just do it. Let's just do it now and see what happens. Okay, here's how to here are the elements of a healthy detox that do not require supplements, except for this one supplement that I'm going to recommend. Maybe we'll see. Number one is high fiber. We need a high fiber diet. And yes, there are fiber supplements. Yes, you can go to Walgreens right now, pick up psyllium husks. Those are like $3 for 419 servings though. And if you're going to go that route, what I like to do is put them into a little shot glass, and take a shot of them. So that way you actually don't feel like an old person. You know, that's kind of important. Otherwise, you can throw it into your shakes if you're doing a fiber supplement. But what I mean by that is just choosing fibrous foods. And the easiest way to be like, well, what foods have fiber in them? Vegetables, all the vegetables. So if you eat more vegetables, you're going to feel a lot better. In the 5-day sugar detox, I have a recipe for what I call the healing salad. It's a secret recipe my wife invented while we were traveling through South America, because oftentimes we get sick of eating barbecue chicken hearts off the sidewalk and drinking cheap beer. And we eventually needed a reset. And by the way, that is a true story. I have had like barbecue chicken hearts, and we did drink a lot of beer, and we did need a healing salad to help our stomachs not rebel against us. So this is brought back to you from the jungle, and I want you to enjoy it. So high fiber diet. Number two is we need high nutrient density. I think a lot of times we think of food in these bullshit categories: clean versus dirty, on plan versus off plan, keto versus everything else, vegetarian versus carnivore. Who cares? Let's pass on all that and let's start thinking about foods as nutritious or not nutritious. Is this food a nutrient dense food? And I'll give you a hint right now. Cinnabon is not, but salads generally are, you know, more things that are coming from that whole carb category or just whole foods. I've heard of this called the green faces diet. This is just, let me blow your mind for a second. Really complicated diet. If it was green or it had a face at some time, you can eat it. Everything else, no. So if you want to just boil it down to the simplest possible thing, go with the green faces, high nutrient density. Number three, and this is what we were talking about with the forcibly taking time away from sugar, is a prolonged fast. Intermittent fasting is all well and good. Some people like that. I personally don't prefer it. Most of my clients don't do well on it because having that break from the beginning of the day prioritizes a bigger lunch. And then they start feeling tired in the afternoon. So that's not what we're looking for. If that's not you, then great. Enjoy your intermittent fast. But I prefer a prolonged fast, a 24-hour fast, one time per week. And one good reason for this beyond the sugar detox is that one 24-hour fast provides you with 3.5 times the benefits of one 16-hour fast, which means that during the time, like if you're going to be doing a 16-hour fast, you can get 3.5 days worth of autophagy done in 24 hours. So if you're trying to be efficient with your time, trying to have like even blood sugar out throughout the day, this is a great way to do it. A prolonged fast is awesome. And we're going to be working up to one of those in the 5-day sugar detox by making sure that we have enough nutrient density, we're eating a high fiber diet, and you're giving yourself this secret weapon, which I think is really clutch. 2 secret weapons. We'll just call it 2 secret weapons. Should I tell you them? You know, I'll just tell you them. I don't care. Next thing is number 4 is hydrochloric acid before meals. And hydrochloric acid, or HCl, is found in a very specific type of food. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to come to the sugar detox. Just kidding. It's lemons. You can also come to the sugar detox even if you know that though. So we're going to put hydrochloric acid, HCl, lemon juice in our water in the mornings. And then we can do that in between, but right before meals as well. We want to increase our digestive ability and get more out of that food. So it's a really great way to help our body get as much nutrition out of our nutrient dense, high fiber foods that we're putting into our bodies. Number 5, we're going to be doing some physical detoxing strategies as well. Physically detoxing is something that I'd like to think that I invented, but I didn't, probably didn't, like just the phrase. I'm sure I didn't invent the actual action of physical detoxing, which if you haven't watched the masterclass on that, what I'm referring to is moving in some form or fashion. So I have a couple good strategies on how to do this, but just moving a little bit, a couple times per day is a great way of helping your body burn through glycogen, or like it's energy that's in your muscles, but it's made up of sugar. So if we can get our body to burn through the glycogen that we've been accumulating, we have more room to put other glycogen stores. We have more room to burn fat. We have more room and ability to do a lot of the things that are really healthy for our body. So physical detoxification is a must. And a really easy way to get started is by going for a walk. Just the simplest possible thing. Lowest barrier of entry. Number 6, last one here is adding in some apple cider vinegar in the morning. Okay. And this is not necessarily like a colon or liver cleanse or anything like that. It's just a little tactic that I like because it helps improve our body's relationship with insulin and blood sugar. Okay. So it just makes it a lot easier to go through this process. I feel like it kills some cravings, and having a little bit of some vinegar in the morning makes you think, wow, that was really horrible. Maybe the rest of my day won't be this bad. So I think you got that going for you. If you'd like to be a part of the 5-day sugar detox going down in this group, in the $1 Million Body Facebook community, we'd love to have you. Simply go to n8trainingsystems.com/group to join us there. And one of the first questions I'll ask you is, do you want to be a part of our sugar detox? And you can answer yes, for sure, to that question. And if you don't want to be a part of that detox, you can say, no, thank you, I'm good. Or you can avoid joining the group entirely, because I probably will ask you again. I hope this has been valuable for you. I hope this is giving you some good ideas on how you can start detoxing your body from sugar today and stop snacking on children's Halloween candy. But some people, you can tell them 1 million times and they never learn. Doesn't matter. Either way, hope this has been valuable for you. Check this out. And if this has been something that you're interested in or want to learn more about, join us in the group, shoot me an email, or let us know how we can support you and get you closer to those goals you've set. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you very soon.